Hello, IML students. Today we're going to talk about the 3 types of analysis. Before we get started, here's a little bit about myself. My name is Adeze Duncan, representing iMarkets Live. Some of you may know me from Forex 101 on IML TV. Also, I was an educator for 10 years, and now I'm here educating you on the facts and methods of Forex. In order to get started on this journey, you need to remember one thing and one thing only. I am a student, always. This is very important for you to remember and to remind yourself of often. You will hear me use this phrase frequently as a reminder that you are a student that is learning a skill that will pay you for the rest of your life. Make sure that you take your time and learn what you need to learn. Pace yourself. Do not compare yourself to anyone else's progress. Always keep a winning mind frame, and you will do very well in this industry. Upon finishing this video, you should have a very good understanding of the following questions. Read through them quietly to yourself. As you are taking notes, make sure to pause this video in order to answer these questions. One of the first types of analysis that I'm going to talk to you about is technical analysis. I'm not going to get into any of these in deep detail, not right now, that's to come later. But right now, what you need to know about technical analysis is this is the type that is used by traders to study price movements. It's more, it involves more of a technical, that's why they call it technical, but it involves more of a technical, scientific even, way of studying. You're actually looking and drawing and looking for patterns. You're drawing lines. You're using different tools to mark, and make notes of where you think price might go. Traders usually study historical price movements. In other words, they like to look at the past to determine where price could go. This goes back to looking at patterns. So anytime you see price getting marked up or charts getting marked up, they're talking about technical analysis. Technical analysts typically like to use things like charts, indicators, price patterns. So all of this, drawing up your charts, support and resistance, all of that, those are tools of technical analysts. People that like to use Fibonacci tools, all of the, all different types of tools, indicators, Bollinger Bands, moving averages. Those are all things that we'll get into at another time in more depth, but those are all tools of a technical analyst. What we teach here is mostly skills in technical analysis. It's very powerful. It's very useful. It leads to very high probability trades. On its own, it is capable of finding high probability trades. So that is what we teach. That's what technical analysis is. It's typically you drawing up your charts. You would actually have to look at a chart to find out to make your bias. Then we have fundamental analysis. Fundamental analysis is a type of analysis that includes political, social, economical news to gauge how the market will do, along with country's potential economic outlook. So, as you see in my picture in the background, fundamental analysis centers around news, rumors and whatnot. That is fundamental analysis. How is the market doing? What is projected to happen? What's going on in the economy? What's happening politically wise? What's happening socially wise? What interest rates are going up or down or all around? How is the unemployment looking? How is the shopping looking? All of that good stuff. All of that has to do with fundamentals. All right. A lot of times, if a country is not going to do well, then their currency shouldn't do well. If their country is doing well, then possibly the currency will do well. Fundamental analysis alone is not going to be enough for you to be successful. You would want to pair fundamental analysis with technical analysis to be successful. It is not going to lead you down the path of, milk and honey if you do it by itself. But it's very helpful, and it can give you a lot of insight in what the charts are doing. So using them in conjunction could be very beneficial to you. There are various tools that you can use to help you or assist you with your fundamental analysis. Some of them are checking out Bloomberg TV. There's an actual TV station for Bloomberg, or you can go to Bloomberg.com. They also have an app. Another one is ForexFactory.com. You'll see this one a lot on IML TV. There are various traders that like to look at ForexFactory.com. What's nice about this and various other economic calendars is instead of you having to watch the news every day, if you don't like to do all of that, you can actually go here and it tells you the relevant news that you should be knowing about. It also tells you if it's going to be high impact or medium impact, low impact. High impact would be something like an election. Or if a certain major leader of a country is speaking, that can be high impact. Or interest rates being raised. Those are high impact. Why? Because those are going to affect the actual market a certain kind of way. Low impact news is not going to really affect the market. So this is what a lot of people use to determine how, when, or if they're going to trade for the day. Not everybody uses fundamental analysis, and there are people who are extremely successful without using it. But there are others that swear by fundamental analysis. So this is just something that you decide, you figure out where it works for you. The last type of analysis that I'm going to talk about is sentimental analysis. I don't even really know if this is a real analysis, but it's kind of lumped in there. I'd say it's lumped more into the fundamental side. This is the overall feeling of the market. So for instance, if, a currency's, been evaluated, let's say there was an election. Let's use the U.S. election as an example. In the U.S. election, when we had a president, when there's a switch in the presidency, then the market can react a certain type of way. Now, here's the deal. The fact is we had a president be elected. Now, what you do is you watch and see, well, how is the market going to respond to that? Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? It's the overall feeling. It's how people feel about what took place in the market. So that actually plays a huge role. Why? Because the market, everything in the market is all based on human psychology anyway. So it's all about the feeling. If interest rates were raised, or if they were lowered, or even if it could have been good for the currency, what actually matters and what you actually see happen in the market is how do people feel about what happened? It's not about there was an earthquake in this country, what's that doing to the currency? It's more about how do people feel about the economy now because of the earthquake that happened. So it's not even so much about what is actually happening, but how people feel about it. So that's sentimental analysis. It's kind of lumped into fundamental. With technical analysis, again, that one goes more off of prices. You should have a very good understanding of all three types of analysis now. Technical is more based off of price patterns, charting, using lines, using different tools. And with technical analysis, you can be successful just doing technical analysis. You actually can. There are many different types of traders that are extremely successful with just technical analysis. They study all kinds of things like wave analysis, which is all technical. Then you've got fundamental analysts. These people swear by, they're, using economic news to drive their trading. Depending on the type of style you adapt, you're going to want to use fundamental and sentimental analysis in your strategy. Depending on if you've adapted more of a technical type of strategy, then you may not even need fundamental analysis, but it really depends on how you trade. So which one is best? I can't tell you which one is best. It really depends on what you adapt for your trading style. So you have to figure yourself out. What do you like? Do you like, to look for patterns? Are you able to use different indicators? Are you able to just use price action? You have to figure that out on your own. So there is no way one answer which one is best. That's to each his own. By now, you should have a good understanding of the following questions. Read them quietly to yourself, and when you are finished, go on to the next video in this series. Thank you so much. My name is Adeze Duncan, and remember, I am a student always.